This is no small feat to say that his performance in this is probably his best in an extremely impressive career. So please welcome Michael Keaton.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. Congratulations on...
It's you.
It is me! Now do you recognize me? Did you not recognize me before?
Yes, I did.
You did, okay. Sorry, you were acting, and you were so convincing. This is an audience of your fellow SAG-AFTRA artists. So I always like to start by asking, how did you get your SAG card? Oh, where's your mic? Oh, there it is.
I can't remember. I can't remember. I really
You
can't.
have one, because you have a lot of SAG
Yeah,
awards.
that's true. I can't remember actually. I think what happened was I got. Remember, when there was just AFTRA.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that was the first thing that I had to sign, and I had to change my name because there already was a Mike Douglas and a Michael Douglas.
Yeah, but whatever happened to them?
Yeah, and so I had changed my, that's what I remember. I said, what is this thing? And they said, well, it's a union, this is a job that, you've got like 3 lines or something, so you're gonna sign this. But I don't remember when the actual SAG card came.
Wow.
I'm not sure.
You did commercials, right? I feel like you did.
I did what?
You did commercials?
No.
You never did
Horrible.
commercials?
I don't think I could do it now. No, I'm serious. I was so bad. So bad. I got 2 auditions, I think, and that only happened because my friend that I was in an improv group with, I kind of formed this thing with these people from Second City Workshop I was in, and he was good looking and really good at it. He said, you should just go. He said, well, I don't even have anybody. I don't have anybody. I have an agent. I didn't know anybody. And so somehow he said, go to this, go to this building and show up. And I actually did. It's so embarrassing. And then I said, oh, okay. Like I thought someone would actually hire me. And then back then, in the early 1900s, no, back then, what's so great about commercials now is how good they are. Not now, like the last 20 years or so. But you had to be really handsome or what was considered pretty, and you had to really sell. And I was really shitty at really selling. Really bad. Oh yeah, man, I'd be bad now. But now it's so great the way people look at commercials, And
like people?
like real people, yeah. And the underselling and the kind of just the wit, I think is really good. No, I was bad. I think I'd be bad now. But look, I'm a whore, so I'll sell something.
So speaking of marketing, that brings us to Dopesick. I know this is based on the book by Beth
It doesn't
Macy.
really bring us to Dopesick, but go ahead.
No. I was just thinking the way that they sold this drug.
Yeah.
Like, because
man.
I started with a background in advertising, and I remember those.
I thought you were going to say I started with a back problem, and that's how it No, seriously. Yeah.
No.
It's unbelievable. It's as kind of evil. There were a lot of times during this where I would say to Danny Strong, sorry, can I
Yeah, of course.
make your job easier?
You always do.
I talk too much. I'm half Irish.
They're here.
I'm more than half Irish, and we just talk way too much. That there were times during the shooting of this where I would kind of say, okay, let's talk about the scene because this is like a little bit of like on the head, and they're like the evil devils and stuff. They'd say, really?
Yeah.
Read this, and then they'd show me something documented, and I said, okay, let's go say it. Let's go shoot it. Yeah.
I was just saying that I'm sure Michael Stuhlbarg is a lovely person, but I
Yeah.
can't. He's too good in this. I am convinced he's the devil.
Poor guy. I know, he's so good. Yeah.
And you are so fantastic, and I don't know if Dr. Phoenix is based on a real person or it's amalgamum.
Yes, he is that. He's a combination of, I think Danny, why is his name escaping me right now? But there's a doctor who, in Beth Macy's book, yeah, I'll get it before I get out of here. But it was based on him and some other experiences, because Danny had, when he was way before we started shooting anything, he was doing all this work and all this research, and there have been doctors who became addicted to OxyContin, and he kind of thought, oh boy, there's a great in to set up the ride for the episodes. Really, it lets you into the whole. It's a good way to help tell the story, right? Mm-hmm. So he thought, well, I can't really base it on that specific guy that I talked to. So why don't I just create somebody who's, a combination of a lot of doctors.
Right. So were you able to talk to doctors? Or one of my favorite performances of yours is Clean and Sober, but that was over 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know if one performance, like you can take things from them and remember those skills.
Yeah.
And because actually, can I ask real quick, how many people have seen the whole series? Okay. So in this episode, you begin to see his descent, and it is harrowing. Mm. And I'm really curious how you prepared for that, and if you knew how challenging it was going to be.
There's a couple of questions in there. So the first is, a lot of my work was done for me because I did this movie called Clean and Sober 30 years ago.
33, I think.
And I remember the people at the time going, what do you do? That you don't want to go do that movie. You don't want to do that. And I thought, boy, I don't know, this writing's really good. This guy's a pretty good director. And I think I do want to do it. That's one of many times I kind of said, no, I'm going to go do that, when there were more than a couple people who said, I don't think you should do that. So, so much of my work for this was done during that, because for that I did a fair amount of research, and I hung out with a lot of people who had addiction issues, and to alcohol and cocaine, and mostly that, actually, because that was mostly my character's thing, So honestly, between that and just spending a little time with my own medical doctor and saying, why do people become doctors? You know what I mean? Why do you become a doctor? The simplest, most baseline question. And just really thinking about what I generally do is say, okay, what version of me is in here? Where's the me in this? As far as talking to people with addiction issues, not for this one. No, I didn't. I've had experience. It's now become ridiculous that we probably all have some connection, maybe a few degrees off, to people who have certain drug issues, but OxyContin specifically. And just reading about it, reading the book, talking to Danny a lot, and cramming for it, because I had to shoot this within a truncated schedule.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How long did you have?
Well, so here's the deal. I hadn't done anything a series like this. I did a thing called The Company, about the CIA, yeah. And
I believe you were SAG nominated for that.
Yes. I can't remember. He was a really interesting guy, that guy. He's really interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I hadn't done anything like episodic television in a long time. And I have a lot of admiration for people who do it, because it's a lot of work. But the nice thing is, you have that whole time to really, evolve and develop the character, and if you're with a good writing staff, if they take you places, or you take yourself places, and it's a lot of fun. However, I had another job that I had to be where I had to be, and I had to be there by a certain date, and so I said, the only way I can do this is if you, kind of cram my stuff together.
Wow.
Well, here's how stupid I am. I said, boy, this is good writing. Yes, I want to do this. This is good. And I read enough. Okay, fine, I'm in. And then Danny, to this day, I don't know if he's lied to me, or if he tricked me, or I just was, and I think it's this one, that I'm just too stupid, that I didn't really think about what was going to happen to my character. Because I'm reading one of the episodes way down the road, I go, oh yeah, okay. And I go, what? And I go, oh no, this is going to be a lot of work. So I'm lazy and I didn't want to do the work, but I thought, oh shit. So I had to, they put a lot of my stuff together, not all of it, but a lot of, well, yeah, almost all of it. And so, you know, you would go from, in one day sometimes, you'd be shooting episode 6, and then you go, wait, we better, okay, now this afternoon you're gonna have to go because, you know, we only have this location or this stage, and so go back and shoot 2, and then it's that scene, and you're in pretty good shape here, and then go, but later, you know, you're starting to go down. I go, okay. So, you know what I did? It was so hard to even think about and break down that I just said, you know what, this guy I'm playing, he knows exactly where to go. And I'm just gonna trust him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show up for work. As long as I got my wardrobe and I know put on my little fleece vest, put on my little khakis. And I go, yeah, I'm about there. You know, I'm about there. See, when we did Multiplicity, it was so fun and so hard, but I had a chart in my trailer of a breakdown of where I had to be, where number 4 was, and then at 4 had to go act with number 2, and then 2 showed. And then I did one day I think I did like 18 wardrobe changes, and a lot of it was the same stuff from one character and then back, acting against a little ping pong ball. So I kind of had a little bit of that muscle of how to go, okay, where am I now? And you go, okay, got it, let's go do that.
But you look physically different from episode to episode. How did you pull that off?
You mean in the Multiplicity or in this? No, really.
No, in this.
In this,
like,
well,
he starts to deteriorate.
Yes, and that was very hard. And you go, okay, well, and honestly, I give a ton of credit to my makeup and hair and everybody, honestly, because we did have to. You did, because I didn't have the time to say, well, you know, he's gained weight or he's lost weight or anything like that.
I really thought you lost weight.
Yeah. So you know, actors were kind of unusual. Because I was just talking about this with Glenn Close, actually.
Oh wait, you dropped this name.
Yeah. Sorry.
You can do that.
Yeah.
What are you doing
And
with Glenn Close? Or are you just
well, we were over at Joe Biden's house. So. We're talking, and then when Mick Jagger goes to the bathroom, does Mick look okay? No, I was just talking about, well, I thought, anyway, we were talking about how weird it is, and I think it's fear, actually. I'm preaching to the converted here, I know, but somebody will say, you know, you're gonna have to sail a boat. Can you sail a boat? And you're like 19 and you go, oh yeah, I can sail a boat. Yeah, but you're from Kansas. Well, I can still sail a boat. You know what I mean? Because the character has to be able to sail a boat. I gotta get sail a boat. I'll sail a boat. You get the job, and somehow actors will figure out a way to kind of sail a boat. You know what I mean? And I think it's, I love you guys, man. I'm telling you, it's amazing what happens. You know, and I think it's because you're so frightened that you think, I'm gonna sail this fucking boat. You know what I mean? Well, you ride, don't you? You're an equestrian. Oh, of course. Yeah.
Except you really do ride.
I do ride.
Okay. You can put that in your special skills.
No, but it's true. You know what I mean? It's like remarkable what if you have to figure it out, you'll kind of figure it out. Yeah.
So you figured him out.
Well, you know, kind of. I don't know if you ever leave a job going, yeah, I really got all of that, you know? I'm a little better about that now, you know, by going, you know, I did my best and let's go do the next one, but, you know.
How much did it help? Because I know you shot in Virginia, correct?
Virginia, yeah.
And that's really a center of the opioid crisis.
Yeah, depending on where you are,
Wow.
yeah.
Did that help inform your performance?
Yeah, and you know, I'm from, like I say, I'm from right up the river. I'm from southwestern Pennsylvania, and I could be in West Virginia, the way I drive, in 12 minutes. No, you could, well, first of all, you could drink beer at 18 in West Virginia, so.
Really?
Yeah. Back then you could. And so me and my buddy sometimes would get in the car, it was really how fucking stupid I am, and drive a car and go, because we could buy 3-2 beer, which is a low alcohol beer, and go get into trouble. But I'm from not far away from that country. You know, my dad and I, and my brothers and I, we was a surveyor, we would take job work, and we could be you know, not in Appalachia really, but you know, strip mining, coal mining country. We're not too far from there, yeah. And so when we went down into where we shot, they kept warning me, you know, when we're shooting on location outside of Richmond, they said, oh boy, this is really rough. This is going to be in this town. You better get ready. Wasn't that bad? It wasn't that bad at all, honestly. They were the nicest people.
Yeah.
They had a cool little, you know, little town square. I mean, you know, it's not what's traditionally considered pretty, but to me, well, I'm from that kind of country.
Yeah.
That was fine. Man. You know?
And that's where Dr. Phoenix,
Yes.
you know, really lived.
Well, we created his backstory real fast.
I love this, yeah.
Yeah, Danny and I, because I said, okay, I'm in, and let's get going, because they furiously went to work on the schedule, which was really considerate of them. And so I said, all right, let's start talking about this guy, and we'd have conversations, you know, create a little bit of backstory. And he said, well, what do you think? I said, I don't know, you know. And we go back and forth. So we really kind of placed him not far from where I come from, and decided that he had followed his wife down there, because he was a mother and he wanted to be a doctor. But it was in him, you know, it's in him to be that guy, you know.
Yeah.
He was going to be that kind of doctor somewhere. And then he went there and really fell in love with the place and the people. And yeah, I felt comfortable in it. You know, I felt, I didn't really feel comfortable in it. You know, just felt comfortable.
And he loves this town. He's delivered,
Yeah.
you know, all
Yes.
these young people now
Yeah.
who are growing up.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I love that too, and that's why it's so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You know, that he begins on this descent.
Yeah, that's a killer scene. I just thought, wow, man, oh man, imagine that. Imagine actually delivering somebody. You know? I mean, you know, we've all seen. You know, I've lived long enough, so I've seen, you know, people evolve, devolve, and it's man, you reach a point where you go, holy moly, you know. And so I thought, what if you actually saw somebody come out of a womb? You know, you're the guy who brought her or him out, and then you know, my kid had the sweetest doctor when he's a baby. He's the nicest man, and I always felt really close to him, and I thought, wow, what these guys, you know, they just know these old babies, you know, and then they see them when they're 15 and 16.
Weird.
Really weird. Yeah, that was a scene that was, I thought, really sweet, but you know, like real. Like you and I were talking earlier about how great Mayor of Easttown is.
Yes.
And it's unbelievably good. And when I see those people, I believe every one of those people are exactly those people that they're supposed to be portraying. You know?
And one of your primary scene partners is Caitlin Deaver.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh, she's astounding.
Yeah.
She's one of my favorite actors.
Everybody's great in this thing.
It's your relationship with Wolf Poulter.
Yeah.
There's such a push and pull there. If you
Yeah.
haven't watched all the episodes, watch them now because it's fantastic. But your scenes with Caitlin they're so real and they're so heartbreaking. And I always think it's strange when you put two actors in a room and say, act like you've known each other for 20 years.
Yes.
But you pull that off.
And in television, well, in these episodic stuff, you know, which I'm not really used to, you know, you kind of show up and go, whoa, wait a minute, we haven't been talking about, you know, we've been working on this as a film, going through the script and looking at your sketch, you know, it was, wait, we're doing that today, but I've only had one scene with her. You have to really, and the other thing that I didn't have the chance to do was, you know, just behavioral stuff without thinking about it. Just feeling comfortable in an office, you know, just feeling, and it was a set. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't a real doctor's office. It was a created set. So that idea of feeling like, oh yeah, this is my environment. This is how I handle things. It was a crash course, like really. Actually, there was no time. You just, I don't know what you do. You just kind of, and so acting with her and creating that familiarity was, I think, she's so good
Yeah.
that it made it to that. You know, she just would show up like great actors do and just tell the truth. Just be present, listen, tell the truth. And so you go, all right, this is easy, just talking, you know? Like Ray, that scene on the river, I don't know how much this you've seen, but when I have to break it to him about, I don't
Oh, her
want-
dad, yeah.
I don't know how many, I don't want to kill it, but trying
I
to,
don't think you can give anything away. It's so special when you watch it regardless.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I put on a rubber suit and cape in the end.
I've gotten in trouble for that before, so
I didn't want to fucking kill it for you, but kind of saved the day. No, but when he has to explain to her what his daughter is that guy, you know?
Yeah.
How do you say it to that guy without him going off the edge, you know?
Right. Because he doesn't know his daughter's gay.
Right, okay, so
Yeah.
there it is. There's
Oh, sorry, I'm trying to give it context, but.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. Well, he doesn't want to accept it, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And he's going, how do I tell that guy from that mindset, you know, how do I explain this to him and go, she's just a human being, you know? She loves who she loves.
You're dealing with obviously very heavy subject matter here, made more so by the fact that it is true, and obviously a very challenging character. You're on location. Are you the kind of actor who takes your work home with you, or are you able to leave it on the set at the end of the day?
I think there's a part that I think it's inevitable, frankly. I think, once again, fear. It's odd, you know. In life, generally speaking, I don't really live in fear, but I think there's an amount with me in terms of acting, or because the thing I admire most about actors is courage. So I hope that I am, and I think if I am, it's because it starts with fear. You go, fuck, how am I gonna do this? And then you go, oh, fuck it, I'm just gonna go do it. You know what I mean? I think that's what happens, and so. But it starts with like, oh Jesus, you know. So the fear part of this for me is if I don't keep, like, if I don't tuck a little bit of back here away somehow, I'm gonna forget. Honestly, it's like I'm just gonna forget. I'm gonna show up for work tomorrow and go, wait, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Like, wait, what's this about? I mean, it probably won't happen, but I go, I'm just gonna like. So I don't go home. Well, I was once accused of somebody's looking me right in the eye and going, "You better get out of that fucking character." That relationship didn't last. She was right too. But besides that, I usually go, "No, I'm good." But I think I tuck a little bit away because I'm afraid that I'll show up for work the next day and go, I can't remember what we're doing. In this case, however, what was really great about it was I just felt comfortable in the skin, you know? And I also had, because of COVID, that was the other thing that made this really difficult. And to give everybody in the production enormous amount of credit, because man, we were locked down. I mean, we were separated, we had little places we had to go sit, you know, we weren't in the scene. And if you weren't wearing a mask, somebody tapped you on the shoulder and said, put your mask on. I mean, it was very well done, but hard to do a lot of things because you couldn't get into crowded rooms. And so I had done something that I don't do normally. I rented a house, and I found this place that was out in the country. It was on like, I learned later, like 11 or 12 or 13 acres or something. And it was not far from town, but you know, that's how I like to live anyway. And I had my dog with me, so I had my bike, and so I'd go run or ride my bike or, you know, go home at night, and that kept me real kind of chilled. You know, I always feel comfortable outside, so, you know, I could leave and just, you know, kind of, me and my dog go take off and hang out, you know.
I also think, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but playing someone.
So in that case, I think I really cut it loose. For the most part, you know. I think for the most part, I went home and went, breath of fresh air, and then just go get them tomorrow. Television's really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't.
Oh, no. I was just going to say that Dr. Phoenix is inherently such a good, kind man.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think that, you know, despite the troubles that he faces, it would be a pretty good headspace to be in.
Yeah.
You know,
Correct.
as opposed to like, I don't know, like I'm trying to think of villainous roles, like the guy in Pacific Heights.
Yeah.
It's probably not a happy headspace to be. But I mean, it is because he's
Yeah.
a psychotic, so he doesn't have any guilt.
That's right. Yeah, and it was a lot of fun, by the way. Terrorizing people was really fun.
I believe it.
No, when I was a kid, one of the great, like 7 kids, right? One of the great joys in my life was scaring the shit out of my sister.
What's wrong with your sister?
Well, because she was so vulnerable. Because she was the one who enjoyed it the most, right?
Okay, she did. Okay.
Oh, totally into it. Yeah, she knew I was going to do it, and I tortured her. And playing that role in Pacific Heights was really, and then you had the great John Schlesinger, Midnight Cowboy, that you know. Yeah, Marathon Man, right? Did he do Marathon Man too? I think.
I think so.
He did, yeah. So really great. You know, he had done some Straw Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
He had done some really wonderful work. So I really wanted to work with him, and it was such a kind of crazy idea. You know, that was the first time I got to play bad guy. You know, evil. You know, and he was so psychologically. Not demented, he was really smart actually.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was kind of fun.
That guy kept me from buying a home for years because I knew all the tricks and all the things that could go wrong.
Well, generally speaking, bad guys are fun to play. I think everyone would agree. I don't know why that is, but
it's something like this fun. He's such a good guy.
Yeah, I think it came along at a good time for me.
Yeah.
I think it was nice to, just kind of relax and embrace this guy. He's a good human being. All these people who become, people are just people, you know.
Yeah.
No one comes into the world thinking, I think I'll get addicted to drugs, I think I'll be, they're all good folks. I think the good thing about Dopesick is we treated those people down there with respect, I would go to this restaurant occasionally after work. They were very conscientious of, distance and everything, and be kind of late, and there'd be nobody in there. I'd grab something to eat, and there was this waitress. She was, maybe in her 70s, maybe, local woman, and this stuck with me. And we were talking, and then she figured out I was part of the movie that was the television show that was being shot down there. We were talking, and she talked about what it was about, and she said, you know how many grandmothers are raising their babies? And I thought, whoa, man, that's the truth. That's all those young couples who they can't do it. They're incapable. So all these little babies, are being raised by women too. I mean, I'm sure there are men helping out, but it's always women who kind of have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Grandmothers, thinking, okay, I can maybe relax now, and then, it's rough, fucking rough, man.
I mean, I think one of the reasons this character is so important is he is a smart, educated person who knows what addiction is, and it still happens.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Physically changes your brain.
God, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's spooky as hell, and that happens like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, I think you have a record for having the most ensemble SAG Award wins, because you've done Spotlight and Birdman,
And Stolen Bases, by the way, little known fact. Got more stolen bases than anybody.
What is it that makes such? I was just thinking what an amazing ensemble this is too, from top to
I know.
bottom. Yeah. Is that something you think you're drawn to, and what is your function in an ensemble?
It's first of all, the great thing about filmmaking and theater, I think, and television shows and everything, it's a team sport, for sure. So I guess I like that, and I guess I like actors. I like being around really interesting, fun people, and I think when I've been in ensembles, I've been in more than a few. it's always the script, you know. It's always the script anyway, you know. But they've been really good scripts, you know. They've been really good. The Paper was a really good script. Yeah, they're always good scripts, you know. So then it attracts actors, and you know, it's not like I'm seeking it out. It just kind of happens. And I've worked with unbelievably good actors. You know, some people, many are not famous at all. You know, man, I've been there. We've all been somewhere. You know, you're watching some little off-Broadway show or some, you know, some little town somewhere. There's some. You're watching somebody. You go, holy shit, that person's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, you see these people and you go, nobody's ever gonna know who they are. You know, they're which is exciting to me. You know.
I just put together The Paper is How You Know Glenn Close.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how'd you get Joe Biden?
You're at Mick Jagger's.
Well, again, I don't know. I hope you take this as a compliment because you've done so many amazing performances and so many of my favorites, but I really think this might be your best work.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, are you feeling, it's crazy to me that at this point in your career,
Yeah.
and I said this on Twitter, I was like, I know this sounds crazy, and so many people agreed, which is doesn't usually happen on Twitter.
Yeah, it's
And,
true.
Yeah. I mean, did you feel like you were doing something special? Did you know, or you just
I
did your
thought the
job?
material was good.
Yeah.
I think when you start thinking like that, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
As soon as you start thinking, wow, I'm pretty good. You're in trouble. So I'll tell you what, it might be, but I wouldn't know. Here's the deal on that. All I want to do is be good at what I do, and you gotta grind out some shit. You gotta grind away, hang in there, keep looking, keep working, and keep thinking about, and just keep going. And you know, if it is, it's just because I've been around long enough, and I've been kind of paying attention, and I don't really know. I just go. The goal would be, the next thing would be even better work, and then the thing after that would be better work, and the thing after that would be better work. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'll take the compliment. I don't know. You know, it would be all right with me if, you know, I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
So if this is it, I'm all right with that.
I mean, I said it in the intro, this is the best thing I've seen all year, and that means
Thanks.
movies, TV, everything. It is such a stunning show.
Yeah,
Thank you all
good.
so much for being here. Thank you. You can watch all the episodes on Hulu now. Thank
Thanks for
you.
coming.